I want my good friend David Barton to leave you with an amazing thought from nature, from the planet. Here it is.
One of the important things about traps, and environmentalists like traps want us to fall in their traps so they can catch us, is traps only work if you don't know what they look like. I live in the country, I can catch skunks because they don't know what a trap looks like. If they ever figure out what a trap is, I'll never catch another skunk.
Right.
For us, we have to recognize their paradigm, that if they're trying to make man subjective to the planet or animals or anything else, we go, oh, that's a trap. And as soon as we recognize that man's being moved down the chain, we recognize it, walk away.
That is how you defend yourself. Look for the traps, learn what they look like. From Los Angeles, good night, America.
The White House reveals the 2010 federal deficit. You'll need a big calculator. If the Democrats hold on to the House, will Nancy Pelosi hold on to her job? And the Commandant of the Marine Corps says, don't change, don't ask, don't tell. Live from our studio in Washington, this is Special Report. Good evening, I'm Shannon Bremen. Tonight for Brett Baer. We begin with the economy and some eye-popping numbers today on the federal deficit. It turns out the government had to borrow 37 cents for every dollar it spent during the last fiscal year. White House correspondent Wendell Gola reports that added up in a hurry.
The president's aides announced a $1.29 trillion budget deficit for fiscal 2010. It was second only to the $1.4 trillion deficit that covered most of his first year in office. But it was better than the Congressional Budget Office and the White House had predicted, thanks to less than expected spending on TARP and mortgage giant Fannie Mae. Chairman Ben Bernanke said the Fed is prepared to buy hundreds of billions in Treasury bonds to try and pump up the economy, but he wasn't very optimistic about jobs.
Growth next year seems unlikely to be much above the long-term trend. If so, then net job creation may not exceed by much the increase in the size of the labor force.
Bernanke says officials are more worried about prices falling than inflation, and seniors are the losers. Social Security is not paying a cost of living allowance for the second year in a row, though the White House is pushing Congress for a $250 a person payment. Meanwhile, Treasury Secretary Geithner announced the U.S. would put off a decision on punishing China for currency manipulation until after talks at a trade meeting next month. Geithner cited recent improvements in currency valuation, but economist Peter Marisi disagrees.